Good evening, I'm Rafael Sanchez. This is the news at 6. And tomorrow marks 1 year since the students at Noblesville West Middle School opened fire, injuring teacher Jason Seaman and student Ella Whistler. Only on RTV6. RTV6's Meredith Barrick speaks to one father who shares powerful text messages from his son and how that day led to the creation of a working group of parents hoping to prevent another violent act from happening in their schools again.
I got a phone call and saw that it was my son, and he had tried to text me a couple of times, and I didn't hear them. And first thing he said was, I'm okay, but there were shots fired in our school, and I think a teacher and a girl got shot.
For the first time, Steve Rogers, whose son was an 8th grader at Noblesville West Middle School at the time, is sharing those text messages.
Obviously, it's the last call you ever want to get as a parent, and drove straight to Noblesville as fast as I could.
He says after that, the waiting was the hardest part.
But I just remember thinking I wanted my son back, in my presence right now.
In the days following May 25th, 2018, there was a lot of discussion.
We all went through a very traumatic experience, and there were a lot of conversations on front porches and in driveways and so forth.
In the weeks following the shooting, there was action. Noblesville Stands Together, a group of roughly 24 parents who meet regularly, was formed. Rogers tells me so far they've figured out there is a need for 3 things: more mental health resources, better physical security inside buildings, and finally, gun violence prevention.
We're trying to approach it from a standpoint of safety and what can everyone, all of us, even though we all have different diverse political views, what can we all agree on? And I think we all agree that there are certain people who shouldn't have guns and that we can do a better job of keeping them away from those people.
Last summer, the group met with the governor and other politicians to explain what they wanted to see changed. In the last few months, there were revelations Rogers is still wrapping his mind around.
And the one thing that really struck us, and really I think personally motivated me, was that it became clear that he intended to do as much harm as he could.
And still, 1 year later, the fear still lingers for many.
There isn't a parent who had a kid at the school that day who can't tell you about how there are now children who startle visibly when someone grabs the door handle of their classroom, children who are in counseling.
A feeling he hopes no other child experiences in Noblesville, Indiana, and our country ever again.
Speaking as a parent of someone who's been through this experience, the impacts are too long-lasting, and we can't allow that to happen.
A powerful story from a parent there in Noblesville. That was Meredith Barrick reporting. The group Noblesville Stands Together has also met with the superintendents of both Noblesville and Carmel Clay schools. Noblesville Schools tells RTV6 that they continue to heal today and every day nearly 1 year ago from that moment. For a look at the steps your school takes to keep your children safe, head to our website, theindychannel.com/school safety. There you can take a look at the school safety plans from other school districts throughout Central Indiana.